Wayne Reads is back for more Lord Brocktree. Let's jump in! Chapter 5. Off the western shores, a heavy fog persisted. The afternoon had not fulfilled the morning's promise. Beneath a dirty white sky, layers of mist sat unmoved on a still sea. Its oily waveless swell lapping tightly against the hull of a large barnacle-crusted ship whose single sail hung furled. A small boat hove alongside, and the Grand Frigorel climbed into a canvas sling which had been lowered from the ship. She nodded and was hoisted swiftly aboard. An aisle appeared amidst the blue-furred rats who crowded the deck, and silently she climbed out and made her way through to the stern cabin. The interior of Ungatt Trunn's stateroom resembled the stuff on which nightmares are made. Dangling from thick chains, deep copper bowls contained fire that burned blue and gave off a heavy lilac-colored smoke. Oppressive heat filled the cabin, heightening the nauseous stench of rotting flesh. Huge cobwebs festooned every corner, set aquiver by the hairy forms which scuttled back and forth after the flies that buzzed everywhere. Carefully avoiding the webs, the Grand Frigorel made her way to the cabin's center and prostrated herself face down with one paw raised in the air. Two other creatures sat in silence watching her. One, a small silver-furred fox, its growth stunted by some terrible accident, giving it a shriveled appearance. The fox, a quill pen held awkwardly in its crabbed paw, was seated at a table where it had been peering through thick, crystalline eyeglasses at various scrolls piled up on the tabletop. This was Grodil, High Magician of Ungatt Trunn. Now turning his eyes from the Grand Frigorel, he sat watching his master for a sign. Only the tail of the wildcat moved. Black ringed in yellowish gray with a thick, rounded tip, it seemed to possess a life its own, swishing back and forth behind Ungatt's chair. The fiercest of warriors, Ungatt Trunn had no time for personal fripperies, but dressed like any plain fighter. Chainmail tunic, 2 iron bracelets, and a mail-fringed steel helmet surmounted by a spike. Yet, any beast only had to look at him to see that here was a ruthless conqueror. Beneath the striped bow, permanently creased in a frown, the wildcat's fearsome black and gold eyes remained hooded and unblinking. His stiff white whiskers overhanging 2 sharp amber fangs, which showed even when his mouth was shut. He stared at the prone ferret, stretched upon his cabin floor. Then, turning his gaze aside, he nodded briefly to his musician. Grodil spoke in a thin, reedy voice, starting with his master's praises. Know ye that ye are in the presence of the mighty Ungatt Trunn, son of Highland King Mortspear, and brother to Verdalga Greeneye. Ungatt Trunn, who makes the stars fall and the earth shake so that lesser orders will fear him. Ungatt Trunn, whose blue hordes are as many as leaves in the forest or sands on the shore. Ungatt Trunn, who drinks wine from the skulls of his enemies. This is Ungatt Trunn, the fearsome beast, and these are his days. The Grand Frigorel, still face down on the floor, called aloud the ritual answer required of her. Though I dare not to look upon his face, I know that Ungatt Trunn is here, and these are his days. Ungatt replied in his coarse voice, So be it. Did you see my mountain? What took place there? Tell me all and speak true, or flies will be born from your carcass to feed my webmakers. The Frigorel allowed herself a fleeting glimpse of the dead rat, moldering in the corner, knowing all too well what happened to any beast foolish enough to displease Ungatt Trunn. Though the heat in the cabin was stifling, the ferret felt a cold sweat break out beneath her long robes. She spoke, fighting to stop her voice trembling. Oh, fearsome one, I saw your mountain, though not all of it, only what the mist would allow. I was not invited inside. It is called Salamandastra, just as you said. The place is defended by inferior species, rabbit things who all appear to be well on in seasons. They are ruled by a striped dog called Lord Stonepaw, who is even older than they. He said many insulting things, which I fear to repeat, but mainly he said it would be to your cost if you dared land upon his shores. I followed your orders, O Ungatt Trunn, and not stopping to bandy words with the striped dog or his creatures, I returned to you immediately. Only the flies could be heard as they buzzed around the conqueror's stateroom. Neither Frigorel nor Grodil moved. A fly swooped across Ungatt's vision, and his paw shot out like a greased lightning and caught it. He listened to its anguished hum, then tossed it swiftly upward, where it lodged on a cobweb. In a flash, 2 voracious webmakers were upon the trapped insect. Ungatt never looked up, his hooded eyes fixed upon the ferret sprawled near its footpaws. You did well, my Frigorel. You may rise and go now. When the ferret had departed, Ungatt poured wine into a goblet fashioned from the bleached skull of a long-dead otter. Remind me the prophecy again, Grodil. Hastily sorting out a scroll, the fox unrolled it. No highland willed from kin deceased, or quest for castles vague and unknown. For Ungatt Trunn, the fearsome beast, will carve a fortune of his own. Find the mountain, slay its lord. Put his creatures to the sword. When the stars fall from the sky, red the blood flows beneath the sun. Then let mothers wail and cry. These are the days of Ungatt Ungatt Trunn. Hark, no birds sing in the air. The earth is shaken everywhere. His reign of terror has begun, for these are the days of Ungatt Trunn. A fat spider fell from its web, landing on the wildcat's shoulders. He let it run down onto his paw, turning the paw over and back again as the spider scurried to escape. Now explain it to me. As he had done several times, Grodel translated. It says that you are too fierce and strong to accept the Highland Kingdom when your father dies. Nor are you a wandering robber, dreaming of conquering some castle, as your younger brother, Readalong, says he will do someday. You will establish your own realm, ruling it from a mountain that is greater than any other. No beast has an army to command as large as your blue hordes. I am your magician, and I say that tonight you will see the stars fall from the sky. At tomorrow's dawn, you will feel the earth shake beneath you. The wildcat stared levelly at the undersized fox. You have many clever tricks, Grodel, but if you fail me then you will feel the earth shake from above you, because I will be dancing on your grave. What about the badger lord? Tell me. Grodel knew that the wildcat would not slay him. He was far too valuable of a creature for any warlord to kill. The magician fox merely shrugged and went back to studying his scrolls. The striped dog is as your Fergol described, an old one. He should be no trouble to the mighty Ungatt Trunn. The wildcat leaned on the desk, bringing his face close to the fox. My dreams do not contain any doddering ancient striped dog. The one who disturbs my slumbers is a badger of middle seasons, with the mark of a warrior stamped on him. So, my withered friend, explain that to me. Grodel removed his eyeglasses and began wiping them. I cannot dream your dreams for you all the time. This badger you see might be just that, a dream. Ungatt returned to his chair, stroking his fangs. You'd better hope for your sake that he is, Grodel. Lord Stonepaw had been staring from his window at the masses of fog shrouding the seas. He was beginning to see phantom shapes looming in the mist, as one is apt to after gazing a while. He rubbed his tired old eyes and lumbered over to his bed, where he sat down to brood over the troubles that beset him. Stiffener Medic knocked on the door and entered. Sire, every hairjack in the palace is waiting for you to come and talk to him. They gathered in the main chamber, armed to the ears and primed for action. With a weary sigh, the badger lord rose. The old, weak, and the feeble. I wish we were all as fit you, Stiffener. Huh, if wishes were fishes. Ah, well, fetch me my armor and javelin. Least I can do is go down there looking like the mountain lord. The main chamber was just short of half filled with hares. Two of them, Bungworthy and Troby, assisted the armored badger up to the rock platform. Stonepaw shook his head sadly as he assessed his army, holding up his javelin. He waited until silence fell. Then he spoke loudly, for the benefit of those hard of hearing. Good creatures, faithful comrades, you know I've always spoken truly to you, so I'm not gonna lie about our present situation. I see before me many brave warriors. Alas, none of them young and sprightly anymore. Like you, I too can remember the seasons gone, when this chamber and the passages outside would be packed solid with young fighting hares. Now we are but a pitiful few, but that does not mean we cannot fight. A ragged cheer rose from the old guard, accompanied by warlike comments. Yulia! Aye, we'll give them blood and vinegar, sire. We're with you to the last beast, my lord. We ain't called Stonepaw stalwarts for nothing, what? Send them on, and let's begin the game. A tear trickled from Stonepaw's eyes. Hastily, he brushed it aside and swelled his chest out proudly. I am honored to lead ye. We know not the number of our foes, or how skilled they are at weaponry, but let's give them a hot old time in true Salamandastran fashion. Amid the cheering, orders were given out. Bar all entrances, archers at the high window slits, long pikes at the low windows, stone slingers on the second level. Sailors, take your crew up onto the high ledges where the boulder heaps are ready. As the hares dispersed to their place, Lord Stonepaw held two of them back. Blinch, Marm, they'll need feeding. I know you've only got a few kitchen helpers left, but can you see to it? The head cook saluted with an iron ladle. Ain't seen the day I couldn't, my lord. There'll be no beast fighting on an empty belly while I'm around. She whirled off, yelling at her helpers. Check the ladders and bring the list to me. Gathering anything that's growing up in the ledges of gardens, fruits, salad, vegetables, anything. Stonepaw turned to face one hare left, his faithful retainer. Fleetscut, have you still got the ability and wind to be called a runner? The ancient hare laughed mirthlessly. Suppose I could still kick up a bit old dust, my lord. Why? Stonepaw lowered his voice to a whisper. Good. I want you to draw field rations and leave this mountain within the hour. Go where you will, but use your wits. Search out our young wandering warriors and any bands of hares out in the countryside. Young ones with a touch of warrior's blood in their eyes. We need help as we've ever needed it. Find them and bring them back to Salamandastran as fast as you can. Fleetscut bowed dutifully as he flexed his paws. I'll give it a jolly good old try, sire. Stonepaw hugged his old friend briefly. I know you will, you old grass walloper. Good luck. When Fleetscut had left, the badger lord retired to his secret chamber. When he had sprinkled herbs onto the burning lanterns, He sat back, closing his eyes, and breathed deeply. Concentrating hard, he willed the face of his successor to appear in his mind. Where are you, strong one? Come to me. I need you now. Feel the call of the mountain and hurry to it. Stonepaw finally drifted into slumber, rewarded by no sight of the badger's face, just a worrying puzzlement of troubles as yet unborn. Always remember to like and subscribe for more amazing readings.